So yesterday, my retainer, a pod thing that I've been using for 40 weeks, give or take, just gave out, just stopped working. It wouldn't turn on. And in fact, I think before I realised it wasn't working, it actually kept blowing the fuses in our flat. And I knew something was blowing the fuses in our flat, but I didn't know what it was. I had a suspicion it was the Invisalign, like ultrasonic cleaner, because it kept buzzing. I feel very uncomfortable around electricity and water. I'm surprised that you could make an item that is plugged into the mains and you're actually supposed to put water in it. Like, I know that's kind of kettle all over, but this thing had like little buttons on it and stuff where I was like, I am not careful enough when I'm using this thing to make sure that I don't get like water in the holes every single time I'm doing it. And if I'm being honest, that is probably what happened in this scenario. But I thought the story related to this case was interesting because it's what I call a full circle moment. I borrowed this ultrasonic cleaner from my dad, or I asked him if he still had it because he bought it years ago in an attempt to save an iPhone that had water damage. Why did that iPhone have water damage? Well, someone dropped it in water. Whose iPhone was that? Lizzie's. When I was about, I don't know how old I was at this age, I think I was about 17. I was on the cusp of sixth form, if not already in sixth form, and I'd never had an iPhone before, and I was getting my first iPhone bought for me. I had iPhones in the past. I'm a hand-me-down child, I'm a middle child, so I'd had hand-me-down iPhones before, but I'd never had my own iPhone bought like on a contract or anything like that. So this was the first time I was doing it very big times for me, because anyone who knows me knows I can't be trusted around any fragile items or technology. I'm working on that, but that was at least my reputation at the time. And I got this new gold iPhone. It was the gold iPhone A, excellent iPhone. I do think it is the best iPhone I've ever had, owned, used, had the pleasure of enjoying a brief summer fling with. And I kid you not, I had this iPhone less than a week and I dropped it in a bucket of about 1 to 2 centimetres of water that was in my bathroom at the time. I did irreparable water damage to this phone. And about 5 minutes after I dropped it into the bucket, it short-circuited and turned off and died and never came back on again. It's fun story to tell in retrospect, but I physically cannot convey the like combined rage, betrayal, guilt, sadness and like utter despair that I felt that I had done this, and the reality I had to live with for about a year and a half afterwards, which was I didn't get a replacement phone straight after that. Went into a period of mourning whilst my dad like ferociously tried to, I don't know why I said ferociously, when my dad like, I just want to convey how grateful I am that he bought this cleaner to try and save my phone, and from what I hear it wasn't cheap. He tried to save my phone with this ultrasonic cleaner. He literally took the whole thing apart. I saw him doing it on the ironing board in the living room. We tried rice, the ultrasonic cleaner. I don't know what other methods would use. I had to be separated in the room where it was from where the I'm gonna try that again. I had to be separated from the room in which that was happening because I was just too distraught. Anyway, I didn't get straight away a replacement phone. I actually got what I can only describe as an Android from hell. It looks like they've made a fake phone of the fake phone. They're not cute phones, but they will withstand like nuclear fallout. I managed to get I had Instagram on it. I had and I had WhatsApp. Now at the age of 17, what's going on WhatsApp? Well, absolutely everything. Like that's what's going on in the group chat. I say group chats plural because it was not just like my main group chat. There was like the other hoes, the school, the homework. For example, if my phone had died, I'd plug it back in to charge it. It would already be overheating. Just for about 5 minutes, I'd be sat there and it would be going ding, 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 and you couldn't do anything. It was just frozen as all the notifications were coming through. It kind of started to decline quite rapidly, this phone, because it just wasn't built to handle a social life like mine. It would then start loading old WhatsApp messages. Like it couldn't resync, so every time it would try to like deliver me the last 500 messages again. It was awful. When I did get my next iPhone, it was in a case that was so industrial, it was untouchable, basically, and not in like a helpful way. It was like I'm carrying around a brick. My phone is inside there somewhere. My parents can track me, but it's like this case is unusable. And fair enough. And they could not have another iPhone break on my watch, so they did what they could, and they got me a military like grade phone case. Anyway, I just thought there was some poetry in the sort of cyclical nature of how this ultrasonic cleaner came into my possession and died in my arms. I'm now cleaning my retainers with brush and hand and soap. When I clean my retainers, it's like brushing your horse's hooves. I feel like I'm playing a role in in the sort of like cyclical, like symbiotic relationship with the earth, you know, touching grass, cleaning with water and all of that. I'm just enjoying the casual poetry of life, and I'm interested in sharing it. And so I'm gonna just park these thoughts where they are, and I hope you enjoy my presence. Thank you. Never be complacent about having all 10 fingers, but I was just in that moment, I was like, why didn't I set off some fireworks as a kid? Because like